What's going on, everybody? Thanks for checking in here with me. Sorry about the slight little delay there. Have some issues with the software still, especially this MacBook. So I apologize for that. Also, too, trying to get a unnoisy background. It's a little tougher than I thought. So anyway, so what I'm going to be doing today. Sorry, I'm talking a little low. I don't want to be too loud. I know it's a little late at night. But today we're going to talk about a couple things. So we have the new Jeep Grand Cherokee L that was just announced. The three-row version of the Jeep, which people have been waiting for to see how that was going to go. And also, too, I'm going to go over something slightly real quick that I've been testing out. And that is to see if the heat shield on the intakes are worth it on there for you. So we're going to go over that. I know there's not that many in here right now talking. I'm probably going to edit this video to an actual video for people to check out as opposed to the stream. I am going to be also, too, just so you guys know, trying a new format. What I'm going to try and do is when I release videos, I'm going to try and do most of the videos, I would say probably 2/3 of them, in a live interactive format. So like when people release a video, they just upload it, you view it, and if you have something to say, you comment on it, and then you get responses back. And what I think I'm going to try and do to make my channel its own thing is I will do subjects and content, but I'm going to do it like in a live format. So like tonight, I'm going to try it out. So like I was just talking about the JLT intake. I'm going to tell you my results, what I did, and see how it is. Because if I were just to make a video on that, it would probably only be 5 minutes, and there might be a lot of questions. So I don't think it's worth it to make a quick 5-minute video. It may not seem like the best, but if I'm interactive with you guys and we'd have a discussion on it, people that watch the video down the road can also say, hey, do you know what? This guy did try it. This is his results on it. These people asked this question, and this is what happened. So it could be a good way to kind of differentiate my channel a little bit for content. So that is what I'm trying to go with on that. So I'm going to try it out just to kind of see how it goes. Obviously, with it being a little late at night, I know this isn't going to be too interactive. So what I'm going to do is just kind of do it in the style that I'm intending to do it at. And then what I will do is kind of go off of that, see how it looks, and then try and see if I want to continue that way. But I just feel that doing videos interactively like that would probably be the better way for you guys as far as content. When you just see a guy talking and whatnot, I know it gets boring. But when you do a video, you fast forward the parts. But if you have people interactively talking to you during, like before, during, and after, could be a little bit more of a more intimate feel, I guess. Content creator versus the viewer yourself. So that's what I'm going to try and do for my videos. At least that's my intent to go forward doing with that. Okay? So we'll try that later today, or tonight. We'll try that out, and you guys can kind of feedback for the viewers that are in there. So, hey, Randy, what's going on, sir? Welcome to the stream. You just came in. I know you're probably a little late. What I was just saying here is I'm going to try a different format with my channel, and when I release content, I'm going to kind of make it like an interactive live feel. So like I'll start off live, we'll play a video a little bit, see what you guys think, play the other part, and have a discussion on it. That way it's a little more intimate that way. So I was just kind of discussing that here at the beginning so people kind of know what's going on and see how, how it goes. So yeah, so I appreciate you coming in, Randy. I know there's not gonna be too many people. I know it's a little late. I meant to do this honestly 2 hours ago. My internet service from Spectrum got cut at about 6:15 p.m. roughly, and the service didn't come back on till about 9 p.m., which was about 2 hours ago, 9 or 9:30. I can't remember because I was still watching TV, and then I got a notice that it was back on. So I couldn't really do the stream when I wanted to, so I had to wait, and then I had another little issue. So anyway, I'm on here. I got the format going. Everything seems to be looking good so far. You guys can hear me. So that's what I'm really trying to go with. So I appreciate you coming in and saying hi. So we're going to talk first about the Jeep. So since you're kind of really the only one in here, because the other viewer is just myself monitoring myself. Did you by chance see what that new Jeep is? Because I have a feeling we are going to be having somewhat of a Durango makeover, obviously in the next year or two. My guess is going to be the 2023 model year. We will have a new redesigned Durango. So let's see that. The we. So for all those people watching back on replay, obviously I'm going to edit the first part of the video, but I appreciate you guys tuning in. Like I said, if you do like what you see, please give me a sub and a like, guys, because I'm really trying to break this year, hopefully by summer, 1,000 subscribers. I know it's a very, very gutsy goal, but I'm going to try it, you know. I feel like I can do it. So, yes, the big Jeep. It is a big Jeep. We knew the 3-row was coming. We knew that was coming down the pipe. It was just a matter of when the Jeep was going to be coming up. So, just for those in the stream that haven't looked already, I'm going to go ahead and go over to that part of the screen with the Jeep so you guys can kind of see what's going on here. So give me a second. Let me pop that on there real quick. So you should still be able to hear me on there. So what I'm going to do is we'll go to the Jeep.com website. Oh, of course, it goes into Google, but of course, the first thing that comes up, what do you know? It's the Jeep. So we got the review here. It's a 16-minute video. I'm not going to play the whole thing. What I really wanted to kind of show was the pictures of it. But, yeah, guys, there's our new Jeep. There it is. It is now a 3-row monster. So it's kind of hard to imagine that Jeep finally decided to go with a 3-row a 3-row Jeep on there, you know. It's a little weird to see that, but it is what it is on there. It doesn't look too bad from the side, okay? You can definitely tell it's 3 rows. You can see the back air is obviously a little bit bigger on that. So, I mean, it's not too bad looking. Now, that front end to me, I mean, look at this big area right there. That front grille, I don't know, guys. I just do not know. It does not look all too appealing on there. Let's scroll down just a little bit. Now, obviously, the interior, this sucker is going to be kind of going off of the whatchamacallit. It's going to be going off of the Grand Wagoneer. So I get what they're trying to do. It's just that I think they're really trying too hard to try and make it like little brother to the Grand Wagoneer. So it's hard to really see how the new track cook will look. Yeah, I'm going to get to that in just a second here. So we'll talk about that. But the interior does look nice. I mean, that definitely is more refined. I was expecting it, to be honest with you, a little more toned down, just for the fact that the Grand Wagoneer is supposed to be like the granddaddy of them all. You want luxury, that's the one you go with. I was kind of hoping they would keep the Jeep somewhat basic. That way they can kind of consider it the lower mid-tier, you know, on there and not make it so. But with them doing this, it's almost like they're going to outdo themselves with the Grand Wagoneer. However, the Grand Wagoneer is supposed to be the size of the Tahoes, right? Or the Suburbans, and the Jeep Grand Cherokee is now supposed to be at least close to the like Yukon, which would be like a little short wheel 3-row body, where, you know, the other ones are big 3-row. So it does look nice on there. The interior, I mean, this one's in white. I mean, look at those I mean, that's something else. I don't know about all white. To me, that would that would really blow my mind. But look at that. That thing is just, oh my goodness. The white seats is just crazy on there, how that looks. Here's a regular model on there. See that front end? I mean, they got the LED headlights going on. I get that. It's just that grille. I don't know. This big opening right here just looks so... It just doesn't look done. Something's not right about it. It's just like the Durango front bumper. I can't get into it. I have no idea. So this Macintosh sound system, that's great. They put that in there. I'm sure that sounds real good. There's nothing wrong with that to have it on there. Let's see what else they got there. 360 camera, inside and out. I'm not surprised to see that on there. Look at those speakers, though. My goodness. Look at this, man. The top, it's got the panoramic sunroof. It looks real good. I hate saying this, and I don't know if it's just me or not, but does it not look like, from the top, like a Range Rover? Right? If you didn't look at that grille, the way that back end is shaped and the tail light and whatnot, and the boxiness of the wheel well, doesn't that look a little bit like a Range Rover to me? You know? It's just really hard to kind of see like that, but here's the steering wheel on the Jeep. That looks real nice. It looks a little too thin, but then again, I'm used to a thick steering wheel. They got the little shifter right here. I'm surprised they're going with the knob shifter. I didn't think they would do that. I thought they would do like the little pull tabs. So I am kind of surprised to see them doing that on the Jeep. So it is there though, so I can't go wrong. I mean, they are going for quality, so I understand that, but let's see, Randy. Yeah, a bit like the Range Rover. I just feel like they went away from. Yeah, they did. They really did. I mean, when you go to 3-row, they're really starting to think about competing now as opposed to looking good. And I get it, but that's what built them in their market as it is. The Jeep is supposed to be able to go off road and this and that. You're not supposed to be going off road in comfort. You're supposed to be, this tough old whatever to get over rocks, 4x4, and that's what Jeep is for. And the Grand Cherokee has always been that one enclosed thing where the actual Jeep Rubicons and all that, those were your, open space type of thing. So, but that's the inside. That looks pretty good. The seats fold down just the same way as a Durango does. Honestly, the layout still looks just like a Durango to me. You've got the little things here with the wheel. That's technically the wheel wells right in this area with the cup holder, which is what the Durango has. It's got the little cubbies. The Durango has the cubby on this left side. The Jeep has it on the right side. And they do have electronic assist on the seats on there. So they are trying to get a little more involved. But it still does look like a Durango from the back. If I didn't know any difference, I would think this was an upgraded Durango. But it's still not too bad. It's not too bad. There's another side view of it. Look at those taillights. Does that not look like a Land Rover to you? I mean, come on. Look at that. I mean, take away the Grand Cherokee here, and it's a Range Rover. I mean, they really, I know they had to update the look, but that to me is not, that's not it. I don't know. I just can't, I can't see it. Yes, I'm seeing your comments, but you got to realize I'm also going through the feed here too for you guys. So just remember, I'm keeping that up on there. But yeah, I'm just surprised at that, look how that looks on there. So there's another difference of the interior there with a different color. That looks pretty good. And then there's a red version. Now see how they got this on here for the tow hooks? At least that kind of keeps the grill from looking so big, but I still do not like that. Look how boxy that looks. Right? That is boxy to me. I'm sorry, but that is just way too, that's too much. I don't get why they went with that way. So anyway, I just thought we'd talk about it a little bit more here. I'm just not into the looks of the Jeep. I'm glad they went 3-row. The interior looks great, but I'm sorry. To me, I don't know. I can't think about it. Now, talking off the looks that Randy was on, you're right, Randy. You got to admit, what does the Trackhawk what's it gonna look like now with this redesign? Because the Trackhawk took the look of the Jeep Grand Cherokee and made it more aggressive looking, right? So it's like, what do you do? And they did do a render on another. Someone did a render of that Trackhawk that had the new look on it, and they had it posted on Instagram, but someone had put it somewhere. They don't have it on here, so someone had it on there. I'm gonna see if I can find it. 2021 new Trackhawk. I'm not seeing the one I did. It was on Instagram. I'll have to go find it later. I thought it came up here, but I guess it didn't. Someone had did a really cool render of what it could look like. Oh, here we go. I mean, that's not... It's not... See, that's the Wagoneer model. But, as you know, they're pretty close. They're real pretty close on there, you know? Yeah, you saw the render too? I can't believe I can't find it on there. I thought I had it saved right on my thing, but it was an Instagram post, and someone had posted it. And I saved the picture because I was like, wow, I could really show that off. But, yeah, it's not going to come up to where I want it really easily to show you guys. But I saw the render, and it didn't look too bad, but it still had that real boxy end. It was not what I thought it was going to be, you know? So it's kind of up in the air. What are people going to think about it? You know, it's a preference. Here we go. Here it is. Here's the one. Right? Isn't this it? Yeah, this was it. This was the render. This is the one I saw. I found it. There we go. I'm glad. Now, I do have to admit, that does look more aggressive. If you look right here in the hood, you can see the vents right there. But, I mean, come on. That's all you're going to get are those small little vents right there. I mean, look at that. Let me zoom in a little more for you guys. Yes, I'll accept your cookies. Okay. So you got the little vent right there. It's kind of like, what do you do? Like, I mean, look at that vent. It's so small, so it's over there. You barely notice it's there, right? You got these big, big vents right there. I mean, I know they need air, but that's way too much. I mean, look how big this thing is already. Now look at the front. This kind of is developed just like the Durango was, but they got all that air intake here. They got all that here, and they got it on both sides. Yet, look how big that is. They need to they need to trim that down a little bit. It doesn't need that much of airflow. Now, don't get me wrong. Airflow is great, right, Randy? Yeah, and it does need a hood scoop. That is for sure. But I don't know what they're going to do. If they make a Trackhawk version of this, I mean, this doesn't look too bad. But I'm sorry, the way that front end now is up and down, the way that looks, as opposed to sleek back like it currently is, it gives it that box look. It's not going to look good anymore. I'm sorry, but that's just not going to look good anymore, you know? And you're right, it does need that hood scoop. That hood is just way, way too flat. Now, we got to remember, this is a render, which means they're going to probably come out with it, and it'll probably look really cool. But that, to me, is just not, it's not working. So it's just kind of hard to see how that works on there. But anyway, we'll go ahead and get off of that. But that's just kind of what I wanted to go over there with you guys on that. So it's kind of good to go over things, though, and see exactly what it is. Now, look, someone else has got the older style, but see how it's sleek back? That still looks good to me. Someone else did a little render down here. It doesn't look all that great. Trying to see if anybody else did any other renders. Someone did the Grand Wagoneer render, and that's not too bad, but yeah, it's not all that. So, all right, so we'll get back to me right there. So, hey guys, I'm back. Hi, I'm still here. So, but yeah, I agree with you, Randy. It needs a hood scoop. Those vents, to me, you put the vents right at the beginning of the hood, okay? That's where your air is coming in. You're not going to create the correct draft. That's why the Durango's is back just a little bit more. I just don't get the placement of that. But then yet again, that is a render. We just got to remember that is a render. You know, we can't be too critical because that's not the real version. That's just the render. So that's just kind of currently what we're going off of there. Anyway, so I'm not going to make this go on too much longer. But what I'm going to do also too, another part of this video is what I was talking about earlier, Randy. I don't know if you've done this before or have an air intake. Most air intakes have a heat shield. Now, obviously, if you go to Leg Maker or an AFE and whatnot, you don't have a heat shield. You have, because it's still an enclosed box, right? So what I'm trying to get at is I have the JLT, which is an open style of air intake, as most people know. You want the Leg Maker. Do you have anyone right now, or are you running stock? Can you tell me on that if you went stock or not? Or do you have anything on there right now at the moment? And the reason I'm asking is because even if it's stock, okay, it's in an enclosed, what's that? The stock, the way it comes when you bought the car, the regular air intake. Do you have an air intake on there now and you're going to upgrade to a leg maker, or do you just have the regular factory, what came with the car type of intake? That's what I was asking, what you had on there. Because what I'm basically getting at is when you have an enclosed air box, you don't really need a heat shield because the box is kind of your heat shield, but yet the heat from the engine can still get over onto that box and get hot, okay? So the box doesn't really cool down, okay? You get where I'm going with that on there? Okay, so you have the leg maker intake with the splash shield. Okay. So the leg maker is kind of enclosed though. Oh, you heard turn me down, brand new. Oh, that's yeah, dude, you're doing good, man. You gotta do what you gotta do. So yeah, but your leg maker is kind of enclosed. Okay. So like I was just saying, the heat of the engine can still get into that enclosure and heat up that plastic. Now I know that those plastics are this special that, silicone, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, no problem. But it still gets hot. It can still get hot. It can still radiate heat, and it stays hot. Okay? It may not get as hot, obviously, as metal and whatnot, but it still gets hot, right? So what I'm trying to make a point at is that an open air intake, to me, personally, my opinion, is the better way to go because you don't have all that plastic around that can get hot and then radiate the heat into there. So when it's really hot and heat soaked, when you get cold air flowing in through there, yeah, it'll get cool, but you still have that radiated heat from the plastic that still makes the air intake not go down as low as it could. So that being said, I have the JLT for that reason. It's an open air intake. But that being said, since it is open, there's a heat shield that needs to be kind of placed in there so that way you just don't be sucking in hot air. So what I did is I took off my heat shield, right? You thought about seeing if the JLT heat shield I could buy, then yeah, I don't think they would sell you. Well, you never know. Jay's a good. I don't know if Jay would just sell you a heat shield. He probably could. I think the money is more into the filter and the tubing, but that heat shield does have it's really custom made, so he would probably still get you for that for at least $100. But you would have to contact Jay on there from JLT. He's the owner, founder, owner. He's the one I talked to before I got mine. So, well, anyway, that's what I did, Randy, is I decided, okay, so the way that the JLT is set up, I'm sure you've seen it on my video. If you haven't already, check it out. I'll put a link. It blocks off the engine completely, pretty much. There's a couple small spaces still that are going to get through, but it's pretty much blocked off from the engine, okay? And then you got to put a little splash shield on the vent so you don't have to worry about water on that as well, or you can get the pre-wrap, which I have now done on my vehicle. Point being is that it cuts you off from the engine heat, which is great. However, that vent that's there on the hood is meant to be a heat extractor for heat to get out for the engine to stay cooler and all that good stuff. So my thinking is that, hey, maybe this is making my coolant temps just a little hotter because it's not able to cool down as effectively, right? At least that's what I'm thinking, that it can't cool down. And also, too, all that air that's going in through that middle vent, the way it's designed is supposed to go out through those vents to help cool the motor, right? Eventually, that air is still going to be cold going around, flowing through that motor. So if I take away that heat shield, maybe I can still pull in that air. It'll cool down quicker. I don't have to worry about any of the plastic from the heat shield staying hot and radiating heat, and I'll just have an open flow design. So that's what I did with my test. Now, do you think I got any good results with it? That's going to be my question. What do you think? That is the question. Like I said, I'm always thinking about some weird things. What could I test? What could I do? You know, what could make our car work better? You know, that's what I'm trying to figure out. What would make make everything go back better? So what I am going to do is I am going to show you I'm going to put this on here because I have the wrong setting on there. There we go. I meant to have the chat screen stay on all the time, but it doesn't want to for some reason. So that way people on the video watching back just don't think I'm talking to nobody. They can see right down there the chat. A green screen behind you with your logo would be, I'll work on it, bro. Like, I'm working on it. This is still the early stages of me streaming. I might be at work some nights, and then, of course, if I do anything here, which I'm at home, I could put a screen. I'm using a GoPro right now. I'm thinking about getting just a regular one because this camera is really wide lens. I mean, from my nose to here, it's maybe 2 feet at most, but it looks like I'm so far back. And then when I get real close to it, you know, that would be better, you know, but I'm working on it. But I still have to have the laptop here. I still got to be able to, you know, do what I can. So I'm trying. So anyway, I'm going to play a video here real quick. It's just a really quick video. Okay. And this will be good for you, Randy, to check out. Okay. Before I scoot off this, can you answer my question I asked in the beginning? Which one was the beginning, Randy? Did I miss it? Been wanting to ask, what do you think about maybe upgrading from a Durango SRT to the new Hellcat version? Is it worth it? Okay. I'll make this as quick as I can for you, Randy. How's the best way to put it? Is it worth it to be upgraded to the Durango Hellcat? Would I like a Durango Hellcat? Yes. Do I want one? Yes. Do I need one? No, I don't. I'm fine with my SRT 392. The reason why I answer it like that, though, is this. Of course, us guys, we want more power, right? The Hellcat engine, I would love to have that whirl sound, the screaming, the yell, the whatever the heck you want to call that sound that comes out of the supercharger. Yes, I would like that, and the power that comes with it. There's nothing like hearing that and the power of that going down. That being said, I get that same feeling when I'm in my SRT, my 392, okay? Now, I don't have as much power. I'm maybe 3/4 of a second slower in the 0 to 60 time, because if I remember right, they tested it and it was 3.6, and the Durango is at 4.4, so it's 0.8, a little over 3/4, right? Depending on a day of air, okay? Is that power going to make a huge difference on you? If you race it, yes, obviously you want to win. You want to be the first to cross the line. For an everyday driver, do you really need it? No, it's nice to have. I have this SRT Durango. It's great. But to me, the markup price, and when I say markup, I don't mean dealer markups. I mean the difference in the base price from the SRT is what, 63,000, Randy? And the Hellcat is at what, 82 or 83? I think it's 83. So I'm just going to round them. So the SRT is 63. The Hellcat is 83. 20 grand difference, right? What are you getting for that extra 20 grand? Now, I know it's going to be a limited production, this and that. No number, though. But let's leave that part out of it, okay? For 20 grand, you're getting an upgraded motor, an upgraded trans. You're getting the new styling, the new interior on there. Is it worth that extra 20 grand as far as value? No. Okay. I went over this on my last video. The difference between the 392 or the RT charger and the 392 charger, the Scat Pack, when you do all the same options and you get the only difference is the engine upgrade, the difference is like only 7 grand because you're paying for that higher output motor, right? Okay. When you do it on a Durango, you're paying about an extra 12 grand for that SRT. However, for that extra 12 grand, you got to remember you're also paying because it's all-wheel drive. So not only you're getting the bigger motor and the tranny, you're also getting the bigger brakes from that as well. So I got to remember that. But you're also getting the all-wheel drive system, transfer case, differential from the front, right? The Durango, 20 grand. You don't have to get a new all-wheel drive transfer case. All those are the same. They're built strong. They're 1-speed, this and that. You don't have to worry about that. Now, the differentials are going to be a little different because you're going to be having more power. Okay? So really, the only upgrade on the Durango Hellcat is going to be your tranny because it's got the HP 90 tranny, not the 70 like the my SRT Durango, like you see right here in the pictures. I got a slideshow going. So you have that upgraded motor, you got the upgraded tranny, right? You got the supercharger, obviously, that comes with it. Now, when you look on the Crate Motor website, okay, you buy a 392 motor. The 392 motor is about what, 15 grand? And right now you could technically buy the Red Eye or the Super Stock motor crate engine for 21 grand. And the Hellcat regular engine is like 20 or 19 grand. I'm throwing out just kind of rounded numbers, okay? Why are we paying an extra 20 grand for the Hellcat Durango? What else is in that that costs an extra 20 grand? You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to get at, Randy. I get that you get the upgraded motor, but the difference between a crate motor from a 392 to a Hellcat, roughly speaking, if you buy the crate motors, is 6 grand. Let's just say 7 grand. Okay, if you were to go on the Hemi site and buy a 392 motor, and then you buy that stock Red Eye Hellcat motor, it's 21 grand. It's only 6. So I'm trying to figure out why they have such that big markup. And that's my biggest thing, is why does it cost that much more to get a Hellcat, okay? Compared to the SRT, because like I said, the brakes are pretty much the same. They did upgrade the brakes just a little bit. That's not going to cost much money. So the other thing is the interior. I get that. They upgraded the interior. It looks great. Let's say that cost a couple grand more. Okay, I get it. There you go. Other than that, the Durango is pretty much the same. The styling's still the same. Oh, the other reason I don't want it, real too, Randy, the front bumper. If you are on the Facebook pages and you see me talking on Facebook about it, I've mentioned this many times. I do not like that front bumper, that lower front fascia bumper on that Hellcat. To me, it is horrendous. I have no idea why or who was thinking of that design when they did that. It just does not make sense to me. I have no idea why they went with that way. So to me, the looks of it, I want something that looks good. Look at that picture right there. That's on the screen. Oh, there it is again. I like that aggressive look, right? Okay, that's a great looking car, right? But then I go over to the, here, it's right here, Randy. I go over to, oh, I spelled that wrong. I go over to the Dodge site, and you look at the vehicles, and here's the Durango, right? And you go to build and price one. I mean, don't get me wrong. It still has an aggressive look. If it loads, there it goes. That is still a nice, good, aggressive look right there. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. But I mean, what were they thinking with these fog lights right here? You know? What are they thinking with that? And I know I got the chat over the thing a little bit. I'm sorry about that. I have to think about moving that chat box a little bit. So I'll zoom out just a little bit. However, I mean, you just look at that. I don't get why they did the fog lights like that. They have too many of these angles going side like this. So I like the bottom part right here. I just do not like these side fog vents. Now right here too, the hillbilly teeth. What is up with that? Have no idea what that's all about right there. All right. Remember our Durangos right now has that little cut right there, and it's like an extra opening almost. It's like they got rid of that, but they decided just to cover it up like that. I have no idea why that's there. That gives it such a weird look to me. I have no idea why they did that. Now, I do like the headlights. I am really stoked about these headlights. They are different, though. They will not retrofit because they are thinner. But to me, that part right there, the way that this grille sticks out a little more, and these fog lights, to me, I do not like that. So that is why I am not really into the Durango Hellcat. So I have no idea why they would do that, but it is what it is. And it's just, I don't get it. Yeah, I just don't get it. So anyway, but that's my thoughts on it, man. I hope you got all that in there before I know you had to get going, but I can't justify that price. There's no way you pay 20 grand more for a Hellcat when you get the upgrade in the motor from a crate for 6 grand and all that. Let's just say, you know what, 10 grand. Okay, you got the new interior and you got the motor and you got all these little extras, 10 grand, okay? Where the heck is this 20 coming in at? I think they're just trying to get more money, which, you know what, People will pay it. I just don't get why that price is so much more. Sorry to go off on that a little bit, but that's me. Would you get the same thrill out of my 392? Yes. Are you going to go as fast? As far as fast, it'll be the same because they go the same top speeds. However, as far as quickness, they're going to both feel the same. You're not going to feel a half-second difference in a Hellcat like you in an SRT. Okay, the only difference you'll see is on the scoreboard, not the scoreboard, the time clock, if you race it. And if you're racing, you're not going to notice the difference. People will look at it and go, yeah, it's a Hellcat, but they're still going to look at it if it's a 392. I get looks all the time. Ask Deb. People look at my car, they breaking necks, checking my ride out. And I don't even have a wrap on it yet. So, anyway, Randy, sorry going off on that. But good question. I appreciate that. See, this is why I want to do these type of videos. Interact with people. Figure out what you want, ask, and I can go off a subject like that. So when people, other people ask about it, they can check this out and see what it means, you know? But, yeah, that's what I have to say on there. So, so you want me to be a radio person, huh, Deb? Thanks for all the comments. You're just really spamming that chat. No, I'm not a race car driver, by the way. Yeah, the SRT is loud and everything. Of course, I have the mid-muffler delete, so that's why it is on there the way it is. But yeah, you really just want the motor, the supercharger whine. But like I said, Randy, I would like it. But as I've gotten older in a few years, and now that it's actually readily available for me to get, if I really wanted to, which I can't, I'm not going to afford it right now. I wouldn't justify it. I couldn't buy a Hellcat with it looking the way it looks. Now, if I could take the motor and swap it out on my Durango, like in that picture, which way? I got to point this way or this way? Yeah. All right. Well, it's right there. So if I get it, oh, that's the back end now, but you know what I mean. If I could put the motor in, then all I would technically be paying is what? $5,000 more, right? What did I say the difference in the crate motor was? 7 grand, right? A 392 costs 15. The red eye motor costs 21,000. So, but that would be a real big swap out because, like I said, then I would have to get a new tranny, and I'd probably have to get new differentials that would handle the extra power, and the drivetrain. I think the drive shaft would probably need to be replaced. I can't remember off the top of my head what the drive shaft specs are. So, but anyway, yeah, no problem, dude. I appreciate answering, Randy. I really do. I did see someone just actually subscribe to me, and I think they're watching right now, so I want to say thank you. Let me see if it tells me, though, who it was. That way I can say their name. Alan P. What's going on, Alan? I don't know if you're in the chat right now. It's supposed to come up with an alert on here when someone subscribes, so that way you get some recognition. But for some reason, the software is not wanting to do that. I'll have to look into that. So I apologize, Alan P. If you are watching, you subscribed. I really appreciate it very much, buddy. We're back down to 3 viewers, so I don't know if he's still in there. But is anyone in here other than myself and Deb? Any other questions or anyone any of that? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go into the video real quick because I was talking about the JLT and I wanted to answer Randy's question there, and I went off for 10 minutes on that real quick. So I don't want to keep this too much longer. I'll probably go just another 5 more minutes. But you have a good night, Randy. I'm going to finish this out real quick. So everyone, I just want to let you know. So when I have my heat shield on for the Durango, I'm going to show you real quick here the numbers. So what we'll do is let me get off this screen here real quick for you. So here's with the firewall on, and I'll go ahead and play this in full screen, and then that way you guys can check this out real quick here. So you can watch it here. Give me 1 second. I just wanted to move this up a little bit. We'll hit play. All right, guys. So here is me sitting right now. Unfortunately, I'm sitting at a McDonald's to get some food, and I'm doing the pickup here because the drive-thru is crazy right now. But what I wanted to show you, my car's been sitting here roughly 10 minutes or so. And what I wanted to show you here is the numbers that I'm really going off of. Don't worry about the intake compared to the temperature, because obviously we know when an engine sits, no matter what, with the heat shield, it's going to get hot sitting here no matter what because of the engine. What I'm trying to look at is the constant temperatures of the engine cooling itself down.
and what those numbers are. And it varies. That coolant temperature fluctuates a little bit here and there, and so does the oil temp. But my idea is to try and get an idea of what it runs at sitting here for roughly a 10-minute heat soak to see what the numbers are with that heat shield in. So this is what I wanted to just take a snapshot of, just to see what it currently looks like. And that is what we're at. Like I said, it varies anywhere between 210 to 225 on the coolant. It sometimes gets a little lower. And then the oil temp stays right there. So we'll see what it is without it. All right, guys.
So as you guys can see there, what the coolant temperatures are at, it wasn't too bad on there. So I went driving, and what I'm going to go ahead and do is really quick show you the driving on there, what the numbers went down to. So here is that video.
All right, guys, so now I'm on the road driving. I'm going the speed limit right now, 45 here, and I've been driving non-stop without stopping here for like about the last 7 minutes. And this is where my numbers are at right now. So obviously my air intake went down, which is normal because it is starting to cool off. But I'm trying to look at my numbers again once again. And while driving constantly at the speed limit at about 1600 RPMs, these are my numbers right now for the coolant temp and the oil temperature with the heat shield in. And now I'm about to come to a stop here with this red light. So anyway, this is the numbers that I got right now. Currently 55 degrees out, just so you guys can see the numbers of what I got right here. So almost the same roughly as when I was idling. Obviously the oil temperature went down just a little bit, but
okay guys, so what I'm gonna do this quick because I did not plug in my battery for my laptop, so I don't want to lose you guys on here real quick. What I'm also going to show you though, those numbers on there as I start driving with the firewall off, these are the numbers that I'm going to be getting with the firewall off. So I'll start with the quick one of it idling here real quick. So let me just play that for you guys if it'll open up, and here we go on that one.
All right guys, and of course here now with the heat shield off completely with the vent and the pre-wrap on, I have now been sitting idle at my car. I've been waiting through a drive-through actually for a little bit. So I've creeped forward, but I haven't really moved more than 10 feet. So here are my numbers currently right now. I've been sitting here since about 6:58 or so. And I just wanted to show you here. Here's my numbers now while being sitting roughly about the same as the other time when I was with the heat shield still on. And as you can tell, the numbers are actually still about the same. 221 coolant, 224. The biggest thing though is the intake air temp. Of course, with it not being shielded from the engine, it is going to be pulling hot air directly from the engine now. Obviously it's not blocked, but of course with me moving, that goes down really quick. So that was to be expected. But these are the real numbers I was really trying to go off of there, okay?
All right, guys, and then lastly, here are the numbers with me driving. I'll get those out of the way for you.
All right, guys, so I am now driving the same way I was before on the same road, a little earlier than normal and just a tad hotter at 58. But I want you to see the numbers now without the heat shield on and with just the pre-wrap and everything. So basically it's just a JLT intake with the wrap, as you've seen. So I just wanted to show you the numbers on here, and they're almost exactly the same. Within a couple degrees of the coolant and the oil temperature. Obviously the intake is roughly 10 degrees as of right now. I'm driving. So like I said, the intake air hasn't really been a factor, although when I have made stops, the intake air does go up a little bit quicker because obviously without the heat shield, it does get hotter quicker. But as soon as you drive, that actually goes down a lot quicker as well compared to the heat shield. So there is a trade-off, but I did want to show you guys at least that with the air intake. But as far as coolant and everything seems to be the same. So the verdict as far as does it affect anything? When idle, yeah, a little bit. It's cooling off a little bit better, but when driving, there really is no difference on it.
All right, guys, so that's what I kind of wanted to show you on there real quick. As far as the results of me taking the fire or the heat shield off and on, the verdict is really there's no difference. The biggest thing was the air intake. Obviously with the heat shield off, the air intake temperature goes up a lot quicker just for the fact that with it sitting there, there's nothing blocking that heat, so it sucks in that hot air quicker. The benefit though, once you start moving, it does cool it off. However, it never does really get within that 5-6 degree range like you do with the heat shield. So my verdict is I'm going to go ahead and put my I keep wanting to say fire shield. I'm going to go ahead and put my heat shield back on, as it really didn't cause any difference in the coolant temperature, which is the one thing I was really trying to test. The air intake just ended up being a side test. So anyway, I just wanted to definitely show you guys the results on that. So anyway, but hey, Alan P., you did write something on there. I don't see why it didn't come up on my chat here, but I see it on the thing. It says, thanks for the shout out. You just purchased an 18 Durango SRT and bumped into your channel after doing some upgrade research. Your idea is sick, by the way. So, hey, Alan, I appreciate that. I'm sorry I didn't say hi to you earlier. I was trying to get to these videos. I don't know if you guys saw my battery. I did not plug in the power or charge it all the way on my MacBook here, so I'm running really low. I'm starting to get at 7%. So I wanted to end this stream here at about 11:40 anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and keep my word. That way I don't lose you guys on my dead battery. So if I lose you all of a sudden, you know what's up. So Alan P., though, thank you for coming across me, man. I'm definitely going to be doing some more videos like what you just did interactively. I'm going to show you to you, get your guys' feedback, and see what you guys think. I'm still going to be putting out regular videos that I feel I can make, 15-minute, 10, 15-minute videos that can deserve to be on their own. So, but in the meantime, I'm just going to do this right here because I really like kind of interacting with people. I know we don't have too many people in here, but I'm hopefully once I get a little bit bigger and people start coming in and saying hi. OC Motivator comes in. He came in on my first chat. That was a surprise. So I'm glad he did that. But once I end this video here, I'll go ahead and edit it down just a little bit so I can keep it as a regular post so people can replay it and see what we talked about with the new Jeep. And of course, if you want to see what I said earlier in the chat, you can do that. But interaction, man, everyone loves interaction on YouTube. That's what all the channel's about. That's what creators should be doing, is all about interaction. I'm always on Instagram. If you guys haven't already, though, check me out on Instagram. Give me a follow. Obviously, if you're still watching this and not sure, give me a like. Give me a sub, man. I really appreciate it. I'm trying my best to do what I can do. I'm getting better as things go along. So I really would appreciate that thumbs up and a subscribe, because I want to keep doing this for you guys and make it basically a career down the road. That's my intent, at least. So I hope it goes great. Hey, Brian. Oh, that's a weird way of saying your name. Wow. Did you ever wrap your Durango? That is going to be done next week. What is today? The 14th? I have a date. I have 3 days set. 26th, 27th, and 28th. It's a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So no, not next week. So that would be in 2 weeks. 2 weeks I have a date set. Now, if the guy did say if they have anything come up earlier, he will give me a call because he does know my schedule. I do work a graveyard. So I do have the date set. So Brian, it'll get wrapped. It's not going to be a full wrap like you guys have seen on my prior. It's going to be a graphics wrap is what I call it. But the date is set. Once I have on there, hopefully a lot of people that are local that do a lot of things like this, they'll see me too and pop on. We can have a lot of cool local things going on too. Maybe I can get more people to feature their videos and check them out, do some car show stuff and whatever else, man, because I'm always game. I'm always game to do that. So, but thanks for the question, Brian. I'm going to call you Brian. It looks like that's the way it's spelled. So I'll just go ahead and keep it that way. So where are you from, Alan? Are you local to the Palm Springs area, or were you just searching around YouTube for, and you just happened to come across? Also, Alan, where are you from as well? Alan and Brian, where are you guys from? I think Brian already left. Yeah, no problem, Brian. I appreciate it. No, thank you, man. If you haven't already subbed, man, go ahead and do that, and I appreciate it very much. I always tell everyone I'm always very appreciative. I want to be interactive and gain your confidence for you to want to subscribe to me. I want you just to subscribe to say, oh, let's see what he has, or whatever. I want to engage, and I feel like if people feel like they're engaged more with the actual content creator, they'll be more than willing and likely to sub. Sorry I'm stuttering. My mouth's getting a little dry, and it's about time. I'm worried about my battery dying on me here, and you guys just have a live stream that just goes completely dead. But as long as you know, if it goes dead, why? It's because I have a low battery. I'm currently running at 4% power, so I need to really end this real quick so I can plug it in. So, Alan from New York City. All right, East Coast, you're up late, bro. It's already almost what? 2:42 a.m. there in the morning? You were up late, bro. And Brian, SoCal, Burbank. So you're 2.5 hours away from me because I'm in Palm Springs area, California. So, all right, guys, I appreciate you two coming in here. Also, too, I know Randy's already left because he had his newborn going on there. I answered his question. But I appreciate you two coming in here. Deb, good writer. I appreciate you coming in and watching the whole thing here before you go to bed. It's almost midnight. Yes, Deb, thank you very much. Don't forget to follow my Instagram, MattySRT, same way there. I try and stay very interactive, answer everyone's message and question that I can. I'm learning things as I go along, and I'm always learning. So I'm ahead of knowledge with a lot of things on the Durango. So definitely check out my other videos if you haven't already. But I appreciate it, guys, very much. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go and end this stream. I appreciate everyone that watched this replay on the playback. So I'm going to probably go live every Thursday and Friday night, maybe even Saturday night, if I have some content I can go over, or we can go over news in the Mopar world every weekend. So I might just do one stream a week or two eventually. But to start off, I want to try and get people to realize what I'm doing and come in. So I might stream again if I can get more people to come in, and if I can get on an earlier time, that probably would help as well. But, you know, it is what it is. So, all right, guys, I am going to go ahead and end this stream. I appreciate you guys watching. Matty SRT out, and I appreciate it. See you on the next one, guys.